Okay, so good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. We got a few people still coming in, but we're going to start. My name is Sally Watts, and I welcome you to our Florence Unitarian Universalist Fellowship here on the coast, where this morning we had a little snow on the ground. Woo-hoo! At this time, I ask that you check your cellular devices to make sure that they are off or on mute. And yeah, for those of you who don't know, I remind us that we stand on the land of the first people of Florence, the Siuslaw Indians, for whom we honor and give thanks to past, present, and future members of that tribe. So we're going to open our service with Spirit of Life. Tuvi is going to be playing Spirit of Life. Rise as you wish. It's number 123 in the hymnal, or the words are on the bottom right side of your program. Come on up.
Good morning. Good morning. You know what, after a while with this pandemic, you are able to see people smiling from behind those masks. You get to see that. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice, roots hold me close, wings set me free, Spirit of life, come to me, come to me, come to me, come to me.
Thank you, Julia.
I'll fix it when I get it. Is this funny enough?
Are we having fun yet? Let me tell you. I don't see anybody here for the first time today, so we can skip that kind of an introduction, but anybody else want to introduce yourself? Hearing none, let's move on. So, we won't be having any affirmative prayer this afternoon when finished here, or a circle, a dialogue circle, but Katherine's going to be here for a while afterwards, so if you want to come on up and talk, please, you're welcome to stay and be a part of the service afterwards, okay? In the program, listing some upcoming birthdays. Let's see, we've already had Paige's birthday, so next up is Diane Gibson, woo! And then Darlene, Doug Hansen, Brooke, Helen, Nancy, Maya, Ruth, and Nin. Anybody else in January or coming up that we missed? Well, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. And other announcements. So Fog Hike coming up, and then going up to Yahats on January 1st. So check the website on the calendar. The information for each of the Wednesday hikes and miscellaneous events are in there, all the details, so you can check that, okay? And next Sunday we have Dean Schrock, and we'll also do some new member orientations. So we have 3 members, or 3 folks who would like to be members. We're going to introduce them to you next Sunday. Yay! And remember, we're recording the entire service, so if there's anyone who doesn't want to be recorded, then we can bring the microphone to you if you want to share or have something to say. Any other announcements to share? Anybody else? Okay. So I'd like to invite Brooke to come forward. We're going to light our chalice with these words from Lois Van Leer, titled, On the Brink of a New Year. We light this chalice on the brink of a new year, letting go of what has been, open and hopeful for what may come, renewed, restored, ready to live life fully anew. May we move forward with intention. It didn't work, did it? All's good. All's good. For those who don't know, we often struggle with lighting the chalice. Blowing it out is not a problem. So I invite Katherine to come forward. We have joys and concerns, and then we're going to have a little responsive reading. So, where's the rain? Oh, asleep. Oh, more sleep.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is the time that we gather here to express with each other whatever is concerning us and or whatever that we just we're bursting with sharing with each other. So Sally will drop a shell in the water for each person and or pass the microphone to you if you like, or if you'd like to come up. Either way, I think we have a couple I've been told of already. Yeah, yes. Fred would like to. Absolutely.
Good morning.
You can take off your mask if you like. You want to talk from there.
Is that better? Well, we all want everything to be better.
Yes.
As you all know, I've been guiding the Zen meditation group for the last almost 4.5 years here in Florence. And without the support of this fellowship, it would have not have prospered and done as well as it does. Several FOOF members were the first people who joined the group, and they continue to practice with us, many of them. I want to express my deep gratitude to FOOF, and especially to Sally and to Reverend Miller for their encouragement and providing us with a place to meet, and it has meant a great deal to us. On December the 8th, after 18-month moratorium, we were able to hold our first in-person meditation. We observed the Buddha's enlightenment, which is called Rohatsu, and is observed on the 8th of December, which is the time set aside for that feast. We managed to do that with Jay's assistance, because since the pandemic we have Zoomed our meditations, and interestingly enough we have managed to hold the group together, and it has actually grown. We Zoom across the country. We have people in the Midwest, we have people in New York, we have people as far away as the Ukraine and Japan who meditate with us. And we have teamed up with Birdhaven Zendo in Cheshire, which is where I was a participant for a long time, even before I started the meditation group here. And they, together with us, Zoom our meditations everywhere. And anytime anybody wants information on that, they can contact me, either by email or by phone. And I'll be happy to give you all of the details about joining our meditation group. I have a joy I'd like to share. Last Sunday, I went through ordination as a Zen Buddhist priest. It was presided over by my teacher, Kenshin Catherine Cascade, who is head priest at Birdhaven Zendo. In this new role, I hope that I can be of service to FOOF and greater service to our community. Speaking of the new role, I haven't quite gotten used to it. The other night one of my colleagues referred to me as Reverend. And I stopped and I looked around the room to see who he was talking to. And in this role, I want to let everybody know that I am available. I want to help in any way I possibly can. I also have a little bit of a concern. I think it's about 4 weeks ago, it was a very heartfelt appeal for volunteers for the cold weather shelter. I had been looking for something in the community that I could kind of outreach to and be part of and be useful for. And realized how really wonderful the facility that we have is. We've got a wonderful facility with 20 pods with 2 beds apiece, and we need volunteers to take people back and forth, pick them up and drop them off in the mornings. We need people who will provide food. We feed them dinner at night and breakfast in the morning. And things like socks, t-shirts, and underwear. These people often come in absolutely sodden to the skin in weather like this. The Reverend Greg Wood coordinates it. He's pastor of the Presbyterian Church, as probably everyone in the room knows. And he coordinates all of the volunteers. And anything you can do, if it's donate a pair of socks, donate money. They are funded strictly by, almost strictly by contributions. And blankets, anything like that will be very, very handy because, and this participation in this group is a very enlightening and broadening experience. To walk with them, to show them loving kindness, and it will be returned, let me tell you. And just listen. Because every one of them has a story, and none of them is responsible for where they are.
Thank you, Reverend.
Yes, I was going to say the same thing. Thank you, Reverend Fred. Yes. But you know, Fred covered it all.
That isn't fair.
You let yourself wide open in this crowd, Reverend Fred.
That's why I'm wearing 2 name tags.
You know, Reverend Fred just covered everything. You know, it's about the charity, the listening to each other, to opening ourselves to each other's condition, to remembering that everyone is struggling in some way, and to just take the time for each other. All the things I say every week, he just encapsulated in a perfect example. Thank you. Anyone else?
Testing, it's on. I have a joy. The joy is that the concept of Unitarianism means that we recognize all of the wonderful possibilities in the world. So I would like to say, Habari Ghani. wishing all a blessed Kwanzaa. Today is the first day of Kwanzaa, and it will be lasting until January 1st. The Swahili phrase Matunda ya Kwanzaa means first fruits. Kwanzaa is a 7-day non-religious holiday observed in the United States meant to honor African Americans' ancestral roots. Unitarianism recognizes, appreciates, and celebrates the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. So, Habari Gani, wishing everyone a blessed Kwanzaa.
Thank you. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
Michelle?
I just wanted to give a shout out to, okay, I just wanted to give a shout out to people like Diane Freeberg and Telly's partner Jennifer and, I forgot who else. Oh, Helen Hartman and the people that we don't see here. And I just want you to know that we feel your energy, we feel your spirit, we feel you here in this room, even though we know you're at home. You are a part of this group, you are loved, and I just want to thank you for the gift of your spirit, and we're giving a shout out to you.
Put a few.
You want to drop a shout?
Yeah, few for all those people. Thank you, Brooke. Anyone else? Yes? Jean?
Good morning, everybody. It's so good to be here. I haven't been here in so long. Had a little problem, still have it, but it's on the mend, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my doctor, who is. There isn't another one like him within 350 miles. So he's in Eugene. I have gotten 2 cards. Oh, it's going to make me cry. 2 cards from some of you, signing and wishing, and you just touched my heart. Just totally touched my heart. And I believe you're helping me heal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's so good to be back.
Thank you, Jean. It's good to see you. Okay, anyone else? One more show then, Sally, for all that we don't know about. And all of those that Brooke mentioned are sitting home. You know, those of you that are just sitting there in, wanting to be a part of. But those of you who can't actually speak of what's going on with you. We're here and you are included in our hearts. Thank you.
It's so special to hear everybody's news today. So, hello, good to be back here. Today's responsive reading, I selected this one because it had something to do with winter, and I looked outside, there was snow. So I thought, well, what better way? This is number 543, and I invite you to join me in responsive reading this called Winter, and by Greta Crosby. This is fun. Let us not wish away the winter. It is a season to itself, not simply the way to spring. When trees rest, growing no leaves, gathering no light, they met the sky and trace themselves delicately against dawns and sunsets. The clarity and brilliance of the winter sky delight. The loom of fog softens edges, lulls the eyes and ears of the quiet, awakens by risk of the unquiet. A low, dark sky can snow, emblem of individuality, liberality, and aggregate power. Snow invites to contemplation and to sport.
Winter is a table set with ice and starlight.
I love that one. Say that one again. Winter is a table set with ice and starlight. Did you see that full moon this morning?
Yeah.
Man, that was great. Winter dark tends to warm light, fire and candle. Winter cold to hugs and huddles. Winter want to gifts and sharing. Winter danger to visions, plans, and common endeavors. And the zest of narrow escapes. winter tedium to merrymaking.
Let us therefore praise winter,
Rich in beauty, challenge, and pregnant negativities. Woo! Love this. I love this. Okay, we are going to move on to the main headline of our service today. This is Katherine Evans, who is going to give us an opportunity to burn away those things that we need to. And I wish to acknowledge Steve Young, the ever-popular partner, spouse of Katherine, who is equally important in this process. So thank you to the both of you for setting this up today and for being a part, to give us a part to play. So thank you. It is all yours, my friend.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to the third annual Burning Bowl ceremony. And bear with me a moment because, of course, my printer, you know, the universe and I have a cosmic joke going, you know, trying to relieve me of my perfectionism, so it likes to throw something in at the last minute, like my printer running out of ink. So bear with me in the beginning here. Some use this ritual like a New Year's Eve resolution, a way to form a new habit. That's kind of the usual way. Some use it as a contemplation of life's deeper meaning and what stands in the way of living in that deeper meaning. Some want to offer whatever darkness they see in their lives or in the world into this cleansing fire. Make it personal. Use this as a turning point. You see the altar up here, you know, fire ceremonies are really ancient, and I wanted to, and I like all that, you know, look how, when these things were formed, when these rocks and crystals were formed, I mean, it was before any of us can even have an imagination of time. And so that's why I like to add them and to bring into their energy and their beauty. They're just beautiful. Yeah. What a year it has been. As I looked back on what I wrote for this ritual in 2020, the words were dramatic but hopeful. Because this pandemic, this divisive atmosphere, this cosmic upheaval couldn't last forever. That's what I thought last year. Could it? Huh. Little did we know. Oh, see? The universe playing with me here. And yet, more courage, more faith, more compassion, deeper generosity seem to be required on the world stage and from us in our own lives this year as we were going forward. One of the key traits needed seemed to be endurance. The ability to wake up and be grateful for just being alive, if nothing else. And lending that endurance to those who couldn't quite feel it that day. Being on the care committee, I heard accounts of gratitude journals being started, new friendships and relationships being formed, endless Zoom committees attended in an attempt to stay in touch, as well as the grief of not being able to be in the hospital with their loved ones or on their deathbed. And then finally, in the last few months, us easing out there into travel to see our loved ones face to face, or just to remind ourselves that the natural world and those who inhabit it are continually, beautifully, endlessly beautiful. And so this still is a ritual of hope. This still is. This fire can symbolically burn away the dark thoughts, the memories of less than skillful words and deeds we may have participated in or been recipients of in the last year or whenever in our lives. You know that sack of rocks we all carry on our back? I mean, even after years of therapy, I still have like this smaller sack anyway, but it's there. And this fire can serve as a portal to the next best version of ourselves. What keeps us from actually living our stated beliefs of love and compassion, of success and prosperity? What keeps us from living past our self-defeat to the fullness of authentic self-actualization? Think of that. What intentions can we set for ourselves? Rituals can organize our thoughts into a pattern of true renewal. Never give up on yourself. One may have to surrender to circumstances temporarily, but never surrender your true nature or doubt it. That powerful life force that lives and expresses itself continually through us and as us. This is eternal. We can never really give it up, but we ignore or denigrate our innate power when life in this time-space continuum seems to wear us down, as it has in the last year. When we take the chance to dig deep and ask for assistance from the universe, or from our deepest, unique human vessel of holiness, it's really the same thing. There is no separation. There is only one. But whatever way we resonate about that, however we see, that universal feeling within us or without, or both. If we take the chance asking for assistance, something happens, something shifts in our perspective, and we begin again. Our minds are trained to be rational, linear, scientific. But maybe allow yourselves to open to the messages, that you hear from within, or the synchronicities that you feel in life. They open us to the greatest mystery all around us and in us. We do not have this all figured out, even though we try to maintain our sense of control. So each one of us are doing his or her own ritual, yet being in this group grows the energy exponentially, like group meditation. It's great to see those of you who have ventured out today, after Christmas, the day after, with all the indulgences and the weather and all of that. You support each other. And those of you watching, you are included in our circle of hope, strength, and love. Rest your most complicated feelings into this intention, this process. Rest them. This is a ritual of fire, which is always transformative by its very elemental nature. Let this be a turning point. Okay, so first I'll give you a little guided meditation. Then there'll be, a few minutes of silence, and we'll play a lovely passage that Jeff Lovejoy has given to me to do this, and then after that we can line up, I think we can line up 2 by 2. We have masks on, and you'll come down the middle aisle and you'll light your intentions on the candle and throw it into our little fire pit there. Let's see, do I have anything else to say about that? Any questions? Oh yes, thank you, Deborah. Yes, tear the tracing paper off the cardboard. The cardboard is just there for you to write on, and just because, the fire hazard. We don't want all the smoke happening. The masks help from the smoke a little bit, but we don't want the fire alarm going off. Yes, Steve is going to, why don't you do the pencils now? Okay, just pass out all the pencils. Thank you, Steve.
Did we
No, I'm going to, yes. You'll be writing during the silent part or right after. You're going to have time. And some of you brought your own that you wrote at home. Yes. Anyone else need pencils? Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we don't have to. Alrighty. So sit comfortably in your seats, closing your eyes. If it doesn't feel safe to close your eyes, pick a point on the floor by your feet and just look at that. That helps to just focus. Tune into your breath. No need to change your breathing pattern. Just feel the breath coming into your nostrils, into your lungs, and back out again. One breath at a time. Now picture a time you felt acceptance, real self-acceptance, or deep appreciation of yourself. That one time that all seemed well, or at the very least completely relaxed. Now anchor that feeling of complete self-acceptance or deep appreciation in some part of your body. Your hands, your eyes, your jaw, your feet. The area that is usually the most tense, you know what that is. And allow that part a complete feeling of ease. We all have an experience of peace and ease, even if it's not usually where we live. From that place, imagine what it is that keeps you from that ease and peace, that loving self-acceptance, from living your true nature, from acting from your deepest goodness, from whatever belief system you follow, you, Buddhist, New Thought, Hinduism, Judaism. We are all in this together. Now for a moment, keep your eyes lowered as we will listen to Jeff Lovejoy's just a little silent meditation, just for a moment. Allow a reconnection with the inherent kindness in the center of us all. I say the words of poet Antonio Machado. Last night, as I lay sleeping, I dreamt that I had a beehive here inside my heart. And the golden bees were making white combs and sweet honey from my old failures. I am released. So keeping in this silence, this quiet, gentle place, pick up your pad and paper and take a moment to write. And take your time. But those who are ready, who have written something from home, you can start making your way up again, lighting your intention, your missive on the candle and putting it in the fire. Putting it in the fire pit, rather. Jennifer, I'm seeing it just burn up right now. Yes, let it go. Yeah. Thank you, all of you. And I will end this with something. Sally, you gave me this, and I don't know where it comes from, but it fits. Come, you accidental pilgrims, you who find yourself on a journey of surprise and wonder. Come, you who emerge into this place as an act of liberation. Come, you who seek courage, and you who have more courage than you realize. And come, you who stand behind the curtain, gathering up the resources to reclaim your truth. We begin our story again, gathering courage, love, mindfulness, and a sense of purpose. And so it is.
So it is.
I opened the front door just a little bit to get some of the smoke out of here, but yet I'm thinking the smell of the smoke actually is kind of nice. It reminds me of a fireplace going and, you know, all of that good stuff. Thank you very much, and thank you, Steve, for making this happen for us today. Very much appreciated. Very much. And for you at home, do the same. Just be safe and let it go. And let it go. So we have become accustomed, we practice an offering focusing on two communities. Our community partner, KXCR, and FOOF. So our community partner for this month and finishing out the month and of November and December is KXCR. And your contribution to that local charity, that community radio station, will be most appreciated. Our fellowship that has been here in Florence for over 2 decades is entirely self-governed and governed by a democratic process. What a concept. One of the privileges of our free church tradition is to provide all of the financial support for our many ministries from among ourselves, you and me. Generosity, therefore, is one of the spiritual values we recognize as central to our personal and institutional well-being. You are now invited to participate in a blessing of giving. As I asked, maybe Katherine would help on this side. Tuvi's going to play a little music, and maybe our new reverend on that side will help us pass our basket to accept the gifts of the congregation. One side of the basket is for KXCR, and the other side is for FOOF. As we begin, I ask that you repeat after me. Divine love through me.
Divine love through me.
Blesses and multiplies all that I am.
Blesses and multiplies all that I am.
All that I give.
All that I give.
And all that I receive.
And all that I receive.
I am prosperous now, blessed be.
I am prosperous now, blessed be.
Tuvi's going to play play a little music for us as we pass our basket.
Before I do that, I'm going to break a little bit with this formality. And Sally, I have a question I want to ask you. The whole concept of the community partners program, is that your idea?
It goes back a long way. Can I touch on that a little bit later?
Well, I was just going to say, it sure is wonderful, and I wanted to thank you for being a part of this.
Actually, this tradition of community partner goes back 2 decades. We've done this every week for 2 decades.
And it is all about you and me and we. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow cheers away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I pick up my chin and grin and say, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're always a day away. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow,
Thank you.
you're always a day away. You're always a day away.
We thank you for your spiritual practice of giving. These are received in grateful appreciation for KXCR and your fellowship. Thank you. So, Brooke, would you like to come back up and help extinguish, well, not help, but extinguish the chalice? And this is the easy part, right? Oh, did you ask her to do those? Okay. So we have the candles at our altar, as well as our chalice. These words come from Reverend Tom Shade, titled A Power at Work in the Universe. My friends, there is a power at work in the universe. It works through human hands, but it is not made by human hands. It is a creative, sustaining, and transforming power, and we can trust that power with our lives. It will sustain us whenever we take a stand on the side of love. It will sustain us whenever we take a stand for peace and justice. It will sustain us whenever we take a risk. Trust in that power, for we are together held by that power. Blessed be. We're going to close today by singing the old-fashioned Auld Lang Syne a cappella. I ask that you go around in a circle. Hold hands if you want. You should have the sheet music right there with you. Yeah, Auld Lang Syne. Are you ready? I need a copy. So, just go around in a circle. We're going to sing. I've got it all written here in big 16-point type, so you should be able to read it. If you want to spread out, that way a little bit. There we go. There we go. Good, good, good. And are you ready? Drum roll. Go. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old
and surely you'll buy your pint cup, and surely I'll buy mine. And we'll take a cup of kindness yet for old Lang Syne. For old Lang Syne, my dear, for old Lang Syne. We'll take a cup